by now we should know that UAW, or the leadership, not the rank and file, but the leadership of UAW sold out workers, their own workers, and just the concept of unionization and labor organizing, and endorsed Joe Biden, the strike breaking Joe Biden, which is insane for a union to endorse somebody who's a strike breaker. That is just insane to me. So we know about that. We know about Shawn Fain being a sellout. We know about Shawn Fain being in the pocket of the Democratic Party. We know all of this. We know Shawn Fain likes to use a lot of radical rhetoric that's not backed up by a lot of radical action. That doesn't mean, what they accomplished in contract negotiations isn't good. It just means what my critique is, it could have been a lot better with somebody who was actually a socialist, like his opponent in the race to be UAW president, the socialist that lost to him. It was a close race. But anyway, that is Shawn Fain. He's been on several times, been used as a prop to say Joe Biden this, Joe Biden that, because of the numbers in the polls. I've covered it at least twice, and I'm covering this bastard again because Shama Sawant, who is a lot more diplomatic, let's say that way. She's a lot more diplomatic with these people, which is good. That's her space. Our space is a more in your face. Everybody has a role in this. And here is what Kshama Sawant says. She says, it's crucial UAW President Shawn Fain is condemning repression of mass arrests and anti-war protesters on college campuses. So he's condemning it. Now's the time for Brother Fain and UAW leaders to rescind the endorsement of Biden, the warmonger in chief. The labor movement needs to say no to both Biden and Trump, reject both the warmongering parties of U.S. imperialism and the billionaire class. Vote for Jill Stein or Cornel West this year as a step towards building a new party for the working class against war. I would add Claudia De La Cruz, because that's who I'm voting for in California. I'm voting for Claudia De La Cruz. Luckily, in California, we are one of the states that have, I would say, just about anybody who's running is on our ballot. It's all different types of parties that you probably have never heard of that appear on our ballot. So that's one good thing. But let's look at what she points out. Now, this is Shawn Fain saying, quote, now I don't need to quote, you can see. The UAW will never support the mass arrest or intimidation of those exercising their right to protest, strike, or speak out against injustice. Our union has been calling for a ceasefire for 6 months. Have you? When you endorse? How does that work? Ceasefire. Vote for the guy that's doing the genocide. Ceasefire, though. Vote for the guy who's doing the genocide. Does that make sense? This war is wrong, and this response against students and academic workers, many of them UAW members, is wrong. So the president, who's actually going against two of your things, Shawn, he's going against the ceasefire that your union is calling, and he's going against your UAW workers. Isn't that cause enough to endorse the warmonger in chief? We call on the powers that be. You mean Joe Biden? To release the students and employees who have been arrested. And if you can't take the outcry, stop supporting this war. Why don't you say Joe Biden? Because when you want to act like he's a labor president, you sure say Joe Biden clearly. But now you want to say to the powers that be. You see the weak shit, these social democrats, and Shawn Fain is a social democrats. That's why the Majority Report, that's why Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland, that's why TYT, that's why they love him. They think he is Malcolm X Part 2, just the white version. That's what they think of him. But this is a good push. You have people in the struggle, people in this space with us whose job is to be more diplomatic with their pushes. And you see her. She's being nice. She's calling them Brother Fain. That's good. When we're pressuring people, you want all angles. You want the one that's coming in. Come on, man, friend, do the right thing. You want the one shouting at the window, motherfucker, do it. That's us. That's RBN. And then you also want the one who has a little public clout making public statements where they're praising you. She clearly is praising him in order to say do the right thing, which is unendorsed Joe Biden.